You're in a relationship. Should you really have a backup plan? There is new research that shows half of all women have a guy on the back burner just in case things go wrong in their current relationship. Physician and national mindful living expert Dr. Romy Mushtaq is here to talk more about that. Dr. Romy, seriously?
Good morning, Tom. I know, and
Come on, this sounds positively guy,
doesn't it? And I have to sit here and defend all of us women, but this is the latest psychology research. I was just as shocked reading this data. More than half of women who are married and categorize themselves as happily married.
Wait a sec.
They're married.
Happily married women are doing this?
Boom, what's good, family? This is your boy, the Energy Coach, back with another energy report. We got something special today. We talking about selecting the right woman. You got to select the right women that you're dealing with. So we're going to start off with this one. Research shows that more than half of all women have a backup boyfriend, which was an ex or an old friend. 70% in 2024. And get out of town. Is it really, really shocking? It's not really, really shocking. And just to give some context, a lot of men do it too. Now, the difference is, I guess a lot of women have not really been put on blast about it, or it's just been of a denial. It's more of a social norm for men, and it's such a shock for women. But it seems that the playing field is quite even. So regardless, man, you got to be very selective on who you picking. You have to know why you're getting in relationships. You got to really examine who you get in relationships with, and you got to keep it real. Like, I'm going to be honest. I believe that a lot of women may cheat or, and this is only my personal opinion. I'm not an expert or anybody who should be giving relationship advice. Again, this is my personal opinion. I think that most women, they cheat after something happens to them emotionally. You know, like it's more of a payback, like a tick for tat or some type of action and reaction. But for men, I think it's just instinctual. Not the cheating part, but just pursuing other women. I think that is something most men just pursue women. That's just what we do by nature. So I'm going to continue to play this video. A matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna start it again. Let's start.
You're in a relationship. Should you really have a backup plan? There is new research that shows half of all women have a guy on the back burner just in case things go wrong in their current relationship. Physician and national mindful living expert Dr. Romy Mushtaq is here to talk more about that. Dr. Romy, seriously?
Good morning, Tom. I know, and
Come on, this sounds positively guy,
doesn't it? And I have to sit here and defend all of us women, but this is the latest psychology research. I was just as shocked reading this data. More than half of women who are married and categorize themselves as happily
Wait a
married.
sec.
They're married.
Happily married women are doing this?
Have a backup plan. And what is a backup plan? It means you have someone on the back burner.
So a specific person they've identified.
Person that they've identified, and in most cases it was either an ex-boyfriend or an old friend who never made it to the dating category.
Get out of town.
Unfortunately, yes. And the problem is social media has just made it too easy to have such a type of behavior.
Right, so I know you're here to say, though,
yes,
watch out, because this Absolutely. Is anything but good.
It is, I agree.
You're in a relationship. Should you really have...
Boom. So I'm just, I think that's very interesting. I think it's something, it's coming more common because, you know, social media, and I believe social media just highlights things that's already there as well as creates trends. But regardless, it's up to men. Men, you have to be better. Start keeping it more solid from jump, you know, saying, hey, you know what, I don't really want a real relationship, or, you know, I'm not the type for a one-on-one monogamous relationship, or, you know, say, you got to just say whatever you want, you know. You have to know yourself, but then you also have to do what it is that you're saying. You know, if you say that you want a one-on-one relationship, and be that man saying you gonna do a one-on-one relationship. If you don't, then say you don't, and be selective on the woman that you are picking, and don't just believe their words, but peep their actions. peep their actions more than their words. I'm gonna play another video that's based off of that, because we were just talking about that in that video. So let's
I
see.
prefer not to get married to an American woman is because most American women are.
Okay, now this is interesting. One, he said, why do African men always try to downplay African American women? Um, I believe that, again, this is just part of the American culture. I don't think that this is just the African American so-called black woman thing. I think it's just an American women thing. Just like it's certain mentalities or certain trends that all men share here. Like we've been exposed to, and it's something that just happens with growing up here in America. Like, for example, gun violence being so common. It's not as common if you go to some place like Australia or you go to Asia or other places, but it's super common here, especially among children. So let's let him talk and let's see what he's talking about.
Are wired for divorce. Many of them come into your life just to divorce you. They are okay with going through a divorce. They are not willing to take any hit. Any little thing. I'm about to go to the car. I'm about to go to the court and get a divorce with you right now. I ain't playing with you, boy. I don't want you no more. I'm going to check out this relationship. I do not want to go through that. Most American women live on fast food.
Okay, so first I want to say with the divorce thing, because we just saw the video that says 70% of women do have a side guy there waiting. So I don't know, this could be a possibility. But again, I think because we are hypersexualized and go through so many relationships here, and it's so pushed on us young, it's pushed on us young that jumping in relationships instead of just waiting, and waiting for sex. If you are having sex, really getting to know that person before you just be with that person one-on-one. Like it's a big difference between being with somebody and having fun and being with somebody, for the long term. And I think people confuse fun with longevity, and I think that's where it messes them up. And then because of also how we are wired biologically, for men it's not as bad, but the more partners you have, the more attachments you have. You're making spiritual exchange. I have a video later I'm going to play that's going to talk about that. But you're making these connections to these people. So when you come across somebody new, it's hard for you to let go of the experiences that you had with the other person and be what you need to be in this new relationship. And the more relationships and partners you have, the harder it is, especially for women, because they have innies, we have outies. They receive, we give. So the more men that you have been with that have been inside of you, he is reprogramming your brain. He's reprogramming your patterns. He's reprogramming your personality because you are fitting to be with him. So you done went through all these different kind of men. It's easy for you to check out, and it's hard for you to gain attachment to a man, even if you really, really, really feel them. I feel like it's the same thing for women. For men. It's harder for us to be open once we run through so many women. It's harder for us to gain that attachment to one woman and really want to do her good. Or even if you poly, let's say you got two women that you really want to do good by, it's a little harder to just go from you've been living bachelor life with multiple women to just you are now settling down and just trying to be a one or two woman man. I think that's a little bit more complicated lifestyle. So you have to really make that transition mentally as well as with your lifestyle, and as well as emotionally, everywhere actually, physically as well. Like you have to really work hard and diligently to be able to do that. So let him continue. He was talking about most American live on fast food. I don't know if it's most American live on fast food. I'm not necessarily sure if I agree with that, but a good percentage do. They because this is a microwave society, so everything is instant. It may not necessarily be fast food, but they do like being out and eating. Most women here probably would prefer going out to eat at a restaurant before they would have to cook. Most women, not all, I'm just saying most.
Food. Checkers, KFC, Popeye chicken, and McDonald's I do not want to go through having to buy food every day outside. This is one of the reasons why I would prefer to get married to an African woman, because African women, they have been trained to make food in the house.
He said something that was pretty important there, the training. Like men have been trained to do certain roles, women have been trained to do certain roles. Here, it really ain't too much home training. There's no training at all. People just freestyling, or they have the wrong type of training. So the social conditioning, the indoctrination, different things like this. This is a form of training. It's a form of psychological programming, which is training. This is what we are trained on as a culture.
They have been trained to stay in the relationships no matter what happens.
We ain't trained like that. We trained to, hey man, one wrong move, you're done.
It's very difficult for an African woman to get a divorce. I prefer.
Okay, so that was interesting. And to piggyback off of that video, I'm going to play this video.
One of the things I resented when I was going through divorce is everybody.
So the first video, we were talking about men or women having 70%. They said what the statistics was. 70% of women in this country who are married have a side dude. Then the next video, you had the African dude talking about how a lot of American women, they are, quick to do the divorce. Again, I don't think it's just American women. I think American men quick to split too. But this video is talking about what are the effects of the divorce for men, from a men's point of view, because we don't really hear that.
Was saying like, y'all need counseling, y'all need counseling, y'all need counseling. And it didn't matter to me that we were doing counseling if nobody was seeing me. Bro, and man, to all the divorced men, I feel like we are the...
Look at their faces. Look at their faces.
Most unseen people. Like when you divorce, you are wrong. Everybody goes to rally around the wife and let's see how she's doing and what did you do? You did something. It's always our fault. It's always something.
That's facts. And I believe that that's regardless of marriage or relationships or just being here in general. It's more than likely always going to be the man's fault, even when it's not the man's fault. That's just how our society is.
And even with the kids at some point, like everything in life is geared toward making sure she's okay.
If she cheated on you, apparently you did something to make her feel unsafe in that relationship for her.
That is true. I've heard this many of times. And to be honest, I guess like for me, I don't know if it's because I'm not at that older age yet, but man, I just take it on the chin. I already know what it is. Like we know this game that we've been playing it all our lives. We know how this system is set up. We know what this matrix is. So as players, as positions, and everyone has their roles. You get your script. This is the script for most men, especially if you melanated. Unfortunately, that's what it is. Until the narrative change, which is what we have to do. We have to be better so we can change the narrative. Speak more on it, be better in these relationships, hold more accountability for ourselves, hold women more accountability. Women have to step it up and be more accountable for their actions too. And I'm going to be honest, shout out to a lot of them because there's so many more women holding other women accountable, like way more. So
Her to feel like she needed to go out, it is never, never, never not our fault.
One of the things I resented when I was going through...
I thought that was pretty powerful. But again, and I remember hearing something like that when I was younger. It was saying when it comes to being a so-called black male or a black boy in this country or a black man in this country, it's not gonna never not be your fault. Don't matter if something happened at work. Don't matter if something happened with the legal system. Don't matter if something happened in your relationships. No matter if something happened, wherever the issue is, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be at fault. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because you got to think about it like this. That's how much power you have. You have to be very mindful of the choices you making. You have to be more mindful than anybody else because we all playing this game, but we now all playing it in the same shoes. So you have to be more mindful because you know what the game is. Until the game changes, you have to be more mindful. You have to be mindful of your actions. This is a long game of chess. You have to be mindful, you feel me, from the jump before you even, like slide in that woman, you need to be doing a good check. Like, man, how is this situation gonna end up for me 10 years down the road? You need to be thinking about that before you slide in her. Like, seriously, you need, especially if you fucking raw, you need to be thinking like, man, what kind of state of mind does she have? How is she emotionally available for me? Am I emotionally available for her? Am I gonna keep it solid with her and tell her what I'm really just trying to do? Like, I don't want nothing long term. I'm just trying to be here and have fun. I want to, I want a poly life. I want to be with multiple women. For some dudes, it's like, hey, I want to be just me and you, one-on-one, solid, nobody else. You have to say what it is that you are. For some dudes, they struggling with their sexuality, Some dudes they are actually, you feel me, playing for the other side, and they like men, but they are presenting themselves as a man that is actually pursuing women, and you living falsely. You gotta say what it is from jump. You get what I'm saying? I got another video that might piggyback on that.
When the man opens up.
Okay, so just a little bit, you feel me? It is gonna piggyback on this, but it's talking about, you feel me, expressing yourself and expressing yourself to women. But this is why you gotta pick the right woman to express yourself to, because you feel me, like some men don't be trying to hear shit, some women ain't trying to hear shit, and if you pick one that ain't trying to hear shit, that's not necessarily her fault, because that's how she is. It's your fault for picking her. You have to be accountable for your actions and who you picking.
When he really opens up, don't you use what he said when he was open to prove a point when you want to win an argument. You will never hear the full story from us ever again. And we'll start to say stuff like this. How are you? Good. I ain't good, but I just ain't telling you. Women, let me tell you something. Men are not emotionless. We have deep emotions. We just don't know how to express them. And let me tell you, if you make us feel unsafe, you'll never hear from us again. If I tell you something in a moment of vulnerability and you use it against me in an argument, you can forget me talking to you forever. And you keep talking about he quiet, he shut down, he's in his man cave, he won't open up. It's because when he did open up, you shut the door on him. When the man opens...
Okay, I want to say, yes, we do have emotions, and they are deep emotions, and a lot of men don't know how to manage their emotions, but that's not women's fault. You need to learn how to manage your emotions. You're a grown man. Even as a boy, you need to learn how to manage your emotions. You need to learn how to control yourself. No one should have control over your emotions and how you react to things. Regardless of what the situation is, you have full control on how you respond to it. So you need to keep your emotions in check, and you have to be selective with who you decide to share your emotions with. If you share your emotions with someone, whether they a man, a friend, a family member, and they kind of like, play you off, that's up to you to figure out what you need to do about that. Do you still rely on that person? How do you feel about that person moving forward? Do you need to find someone else who you can be open with and vulnerable with, that you can share yourself with, and you feel me, that ain't gonna play you, or that ain't gonna, you feel me, make you feel some type of way? You have to be more accountable. It sucks, but it is what it is. You feel me? It is what it is. You have to always be accountable, especially if you're a man. Doesn't matter if it's your fault or not your fault. Look for what role you played in it. Always be accountable. Always be accountable, because life will change and things will work a lot better or work a lot smoother. It sucks. It's not fair, but life ain't about fair. It's about it is what it is. All right, let's switch over to something else one time. Oh, it ain't fair, but let me play this.
You got to be careful who you lay down with, because when you mix the spirits, that's what.
Hey, so I was talking to y'all about that earlier. You have to be selective of who you fucking. You have to be selective of who you making love with. You got to be selective of who you having children with. You got to be selective. Men, you have to be selective. Take accountability. Really analyze that person. Really analyze that woman. Like, and think, like, man, don't just be there for the quick fuck. Like, see yourself 3, 5, 10 years later into the future. Like, is you still rocking with this person? If you're not rocking with this person, what happened? after y'all had sex 2 times, you feel me, is she changing different? You need to peep the red flags and really analyze her from jump. You feel me? When you get her number, man, don't just rush to, you feel me, oh, date and then trying to wine and dine to the bedroom. Nah. You need to take that time to have a deep conversation, spend a couple of hours talking verbally, you feel me? If you can do it in person, I wouldn't recommend, you feel me? But just because it'll be better in person, but it usually don't go like that when you first meet somebody. Old school, talk on the phone, get a feel for them consistently. See what they talking about. Really see what's in their brain, you feel me, before you decide to get inside between her legs.
That's what you do. You know, when you're having sex with people, you're bonding within that. That's when people break up, and they might break up with somebody, but that person could still have a hold on them. Tell them something, you get that phone call, and that heart and the stuff like, because they're connected in a soul tie.
Soul ties, man. So be selective about who you having these ties with. Like, man, one of the false programs that we have as men, and it's based off of how we are organically and naturally. We here to reproduce, and we're here to spread our seeds. You feel me? But it don't mean just, you feel me, go smash every woman you come across. It just don't mean like every woman you come across. It don't mean, you feel me, try and get with every woman you come across. You gotta be selective, you feel me, with who you tying, you having these connections with, who you making these soul ties with. For women, it's even worse. You have to be way more selective on what kind of men, you feel me, you are having soul ties with. Because every person you have with you, again, it changes you. It changes you. You feel me? And it can make things complicated, you know, and sloppy and messy upstairs in your mind, or also in your feelings, your emotions, because you done gave to so many and they're so different. You get what I mean? And you done had to be so many different type of people to be with these people. You get what I mean?
You gotta be able to get that off of you too. You might break up with somebody, but there can be soul ties. You don't know what they're connected to as well. Anybody you've ever laid down with, I want you to say, take my spirit out of them, say their name, and then take their spirit out of you and say that. And so for anybody's listening, they need to really do that. Because the thing about it is that you take all that to different relationships, and you take that wherever you go. You have a homie here, you know, and you see the difference within them. It could be the spiritual connection that they have with someone that needs to be broken because it's a toxic, you know what I mean? And demonic when in that way. You got to be careful who.
Facts of life, man. You got to know who you with, man. These ties is real. These ties is very real. But let's see, switch it a little bit. What kind of woman do you want? Now, this is another example of maybe somebody who you do want to rock with. I like what Brad was saying. Let's get into it.
And I want a woman that's on her shit, because I need some type of motivation as well. Because if I'm around somebody that's lazy as fuck, that shit gonna kind of rub off on me. If I get a girl that's on her shit, she wake up at 6 a.m, go work out, get back to the crib, working, planning, executing, that shit gonna rub off on me. But let's just reverse that. Let's say if I get a girl that drunk all night and wake up at 12 p.m, sit on the bed and scroll on Instagram for hours, finally get up, don't clean, don't ask me what the fuck I need, and I'm just dealing with it because she look good and the pussy good. That's what us niggas doing. Like, we get women just because they look good and they ass fat. We'll take anything that come with that shit. Not even thinking. We paying bills, we doing all this shit for them, but they ain't bringing shit to us. So we gotta realize, like, we got to choose our women wisely. We gotta be very conscious of these women that we bring in our lives, because they can make or break you. They can really be a fucking asset or a liability. And I only want to deal with assets. And right now, I don't even want to deal with anything. I am so focused on my shit. I don't even feel like a woman gonna understand what I'm going through. I don't even think a woman's going to understand what I'm trying to accomplish. They're not gonna understand that I can't call them every day. They ain't gonna understand that I can't fuck them all the time. They ain't gonna understand that I'm posting on Instagram, but I ain't reached out to them. That's just what I'm on right now. And if you don't understand that, then shit, you can't fit my life.
Man, so you feel me? He was saying a lot of good key points, man. You gotta really, really be accountable, men. You have to be accountable You gotta be accountable. You gotta be selective with who you picking. Like, don't just be trying to get the pussy and smash because she look good and because the ass fat. It don't work like that. It's played out, man. You gonna play yourself, and then you gonna be feeling some type of way, singing sad songs, and the world not gonna feel bad for you because the world don't feel bad for you. You feel me? So what you gotta do, you gotta be selective with the women that you are picking. You have to engage with them intellectually. You have to really analyze them on an emotional level. You have to see how they are physically. What's their health is like. You feel me? All these things play a different part. What her spirit like? You feel me? What's the vibe she really giving you? You get what I'm saying? Pay attention to her actions and pay attention to the words she's saying and see if it add up together. See if it makes sense. You get what I mean? And like, also, you can't just be doing that and you not doing it yourself because you don't know what to look for. So if you want something that's high quality, that's on her shit, you got to be on your shit and be high quality too. And I ain't even just talking about finances. Fuck the finances. We ain't even talking about, you feel me, being rich or you feel me, having money or nothing like that. The bare basics, having a conversation, being able to comprehend and express themselves, you know, not having temper tantrums, you feel me, and lacking emotional control, you know, being able to deal with their own psychological traumas, you know, shit like that, being able to express themselves without physically abusing you or verbally abusing you, you feel me, when something is going wrong, shit like that. You got to be able to peep these things and analyze it from the jump, you feel me? Like, this is important. It's crucial. Like, it's same thing for women. It's even more crucial because a lot of these dudes, you feel me, they so emotionally unstable that they ready to crash out and take your life with them. You feel me? So we all have to become more accountable and we have to become more aware of ourselves. We have to become extremely aware of ourselves, man, because that shit key. I'm gonna play this one more time.
And I want a woman that's on her shit.
Be on your shit. You feel me? He just gave me some juice when he said it. Look, man, hey, be on your shit. If you got a man that's paying for everything, you need to find out what is it the thing that I'm here to do, you feel me, for myself to make my soul evolve, my spirit evolve, something that's outside of him. Like, what are you here to do for you, your soul? Something happened to him, something happened to your children, something happened to your family. Who are you? What are you going to be doing? What are you leaving, you feel me, behind in this world? You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that everyone needs something to work on and work towards, a goal or something. What is it that you want out of this world for you? What is it that you here for? Your soul. You feel me? We all need to have that.
Because I need some type of motivation as well. Because if I'm around somebody that's lazy as fuck, that shit gonna kind of rub off on me. If I get a girl that's on her shit, she wake up at 6 in the morning, go work out, get back to the crib.
What inspire you? What get you motivated? You feel me?
Working, planning, executing, that shit gonna rub off on me. But let's just reverse that. Let's say if I get a girl that drunk all night and wake up at 12, she wake up at 12 p.m., sit on the bed and scroll on Instagram for hours. Finally get up, don't clean, don't ask me what the fuck I need. And I'm just dealing with it because she look good and the pussy good. That's what us niggas doing. Like, we get women just because they look good and they...
Most niggas is doing that. That shit is not cool. It's not gonna work for you. On the flip side, a lot of women will get with niggas, you feel me, that be any kind of way because they got a little bit of money. You feel me? Call that a rat trap, you know? Because you chasing that cheese, you feel me? And you don't know if this nigga a sleazeball, a scumbag, you feel me, a woman beater, a rapist. You don't know what the fuck he really on because you ain't really analyzed him properly because all you see is that money. You feel me? You got to start analyzing shit beyond the money. You feel me? Just like niggas, you got to analyze shit beyond a pretty face and a nice ass. You feel me? Really dive into their brain. Really dive into their personality. Really dive into their emotions. See where they at. You feel me? Like, do they got control?
Ass fat. We'll take anything that come with that shit. Not even thinking. We paying bills. We doing all this shit for them, but they ain't bringing shit to us. So we got to realize, like, we got to choose our women wisely. We got to be very conscious of these women that we bring in our lives because they can make or break you. They can really be a fucking...
Facts. Women, same thing. Be conscious, man. Be conscious. Be aware of who you bringing into your life, man, because it can fuck up your life or it can make your life something wonderful. And don't get me wrong. Ain't no such thing as perfection. Everything gonna have pros and cons no matter who you choose. But you got to find out What pros and cons are you willing to deal with, and what do you need to get you to the next level? You feel me? To help you elevate and help your soul grow.
Or liability. And I only want to deal with assets. And right now, I don't even want to deal with anything. I am so focused on my shit. I don't even feel like a woman gonna understand what I'm going through. I don't even think a woman's going to understand what I'm trying to accomplish. They're not gonna understand that I can't call them every day. They don't understand that I can't fuck them all the time. They don't understand that I'm posting on Instagram, but I ain't reached out to them. That's just what I'm on right now. And if you don't understand that, then shit, you can't fit my life.
Okay, man, I thought that was quite on point. I don't know who bro is, but man, shout out to him. I saw that on Rich Unemployed. I got another one. I think this is the last one we're gonna wrap it up with. You feel me? But she was cooking.
In order to forgive yourself, you gotta be real with yourself as well.
Hey, ladies, fellas, I need y'all to listen up. Fellas, I need you to listen up for sure. Because y'all don't be listening. Women listen better than y'all. And sometimes it depends. But fellas, because this is for men being better, I need y'all to listen up and pay attention.
Well, yes, I saw these red flags. Why did I overlook these red flags? Because I painted a picture.
Why?
I came up with a fantasy of this person. I tried to mold this person in something that I desired instead of realizing that who they are is based off of their experience. But you have to have that very uncomfortable conversation with yourself. This person showed me they were not a match for me, but I had an idea and I wanted them to fit that idea so desperately because I'm coming from a place of desperation. When a person is asking for your forgiveness, you want to see why. Are you deserving of this? Are you going to show me how you're going to change? It's the same thing with yourself. If you need to forgive yourself, then you have to see the change in yourself as well. You can't sit here. That's one reason why people struggle to forgive themselves, because they're not changing. The more you make excuses instead of actually changing, the more you point the finger at somebody else, the more you operate in that victim mentality, you're never going to take accountability for your fault in a matter. That's your starting point, okay? In order to forgive...
Man, what I say, then wasn't I just talking about this, man, like on the other video? Let me play this again, because she preaching. She talking that talk right now, man. Like, I don't know who this is, but she's on point. You feel me? On point. Like, on point.
Forgive yourself, you got to be real with yourself as well.
You got to.
Yes, I saw these red.
Why do you see the red flags? You feel me? Like, why do you see the red flags? The red flags are there, you feel me? Just like the green flags are there for the go. The red flags are there for stop. You see the red flags, but some people confuse the red flags of for love flags. You feel me? Excitement flags, flags of passion. Nah. You feel me? Yes, it can be a little bit of that, but no, you got to know, man, like, what is this going to turn into? Because 9 times out of 10, if you seeing it in the beginning, in the first stages, they're going to be amplified later on down the road, you feel me, when this person is comfortable. So you need to really look at them red flags and see, hey, look, what is this going to turn into? Can this be worse? You feel me? And a lot of people, they be looking for fixing projects. You feel me? Like, especially women. They love taking niggas, you feel me, and trying to fix them up. Just like, you feel me, niggas be trying to Captain Save a hoe, you feel me, prostitutes, and be trying to make the money go away instead of building with real women, you know? And it's a difference between the two. I don't need no 304s, you feel me, trying to knock me or bash what I'm saying. It's real talk, you know? And it's like, you cannot try to fix those red flags, you feel me, with material things. You can't try and, like, women cannot try and fix our men's red flags by doing for us. No, men have to fix their own red flags. Just like women, you got to fix your own red flags. You feel me? But a man can help a woman fix her red flags. A woman cannot really help a man fix his red flags. He got to do it himself.
Red flags. Why did I overlook these red flags? Because I painted a picture.
Why are you painting that picture?
I came up with a fantasy of this person. I tried to mold this person in something that I
digmatized, you feel me, for the women, or you feel me, the niggas was sprung off the pussy, you feel me, in the head.
I desired, instead of realizing that who they are is based off of their experience. But you have...
That's key, man. You have to, and this is why I say in the beginning, you have to analyze what they have went through. You feel me? You have to really get to know this person and really talk to them and see, you feel me, like, hey, what experiences do you have? Line those experiences up with the red flags and you can get a better understand with what are you dealing with. And you can see, like, hey, man, am I going to be able to rock with this person or no? You get what I'm saying?
You have to have that very uncomfortable conversation with yourself.
Uncomfortable.
This person showed me they were not a match for me, but
if it's not a match, man, you gotta move on. You feel me? And I know a lot of people out here looking for love and they searching for, you feel me, for affection and for somebody to be their partner. You feel me? For someone. But man, don't try and force the situation. It's gonna have dire consequences. Trust me, it's pros and cons even if it is a match. So if it's not a match, it's definitely gonna be way more cons than pros.
I had an idea and I wanted them to fit that idea so desperately because I'm coming from a place of desperation.
Man.
When a person is asking for your forgiveness, you want to see why. Are you deserving of this?
Facts.
Are you going to show me how you're going to change? It's the same thing with yourself. If
Facts.
you need to forgive yourself, then you have to see the change in yourself as well.
Facts.
You can't sit here. That's one reason why people struggle to forgive themselves, because they're not changing.
Man, you gotta change.
The more you make excuses instead of actually changing, the more you point the finger at somebody else, the more you operate in that victim mentality, you're never going to take accountability for your fault.
Accountability is the word I've been saying all video. Hey, man, look, accountability is what it is. Men, we have to take accountability. Ladies, y'all are starting to take accountability, and a lot of women are pushing y'all to take more accountability. But regardless, men, you have to take accountability. It sucks. Sometimes you got to take accountability for her. It is what it is because you decided to rock with her and this world is more unfair to us. You get what I'm saying? This is how the system is. You feel me? So you have to be more accountable because the consequences can be worse for you than for anyone else, especially when your melanin got a 10.
In a matter. That's your starting point, okay? In order to...
Man, hey, I'm just, you feel me? That was on point. Hey, man, whoever that is, I don't know who she is, but she on point. So yeah, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what y'all think, man. Accountability is the word of the day, but we have to be accountable. We have to be accountable and we have to pick better. We have to pick our partners better. All right, I'm gonna holla at y'all, man. I love y'all. Y'all take care.